Hey, what's up? It's Achilles, and today we're playing Dragon. Now, here's a deck list that I made back in '07. I really want to play Dragon. I've been playing a lot of Red Purple Luffy. I was like, let me hop off of that and play something different. Just see how well it does in this '09 meta. I was able to get a few games in, and was actually liking how it felt. This is a deck that I did take to the last regionals I went to, back in the 8 meta, or yeah, it was like either the 8 meta or like late 7 meta. But I was liking it. I did, like, when I was going to locals, I was getting the best hands, but I went to regionals and I was getting, like, a lot of 2Ks, just bad hands, and then bad plays as well, because that's one thing you have to, like, not do. Like, once you go there, you have to, like, not let one bad hand or one bad game kind of ruin the rest of your games. But I still feel like this deck is solid. I would like to run a straight red version of this deck, not red version, but a straight Revolutionary Army version of this deck. Unfortunately, there's only one 2K, and I can go straight Revolutionary Army with no 2Ks, but I do like to be able to search, and playing like a double searcher is really good in the early game because you can kind of do some crazy 3/5 swings, or even like 3/5 swings early in like turn 2. So these are really not bad, especially if you're going second. You can drop 2 searchers down, and you can be really aggressive from that point on. And there are really good straw hats that go with Dragon, like the Sanji, who takes a card, gives himself 2,000 power, and gives himself 2 rested Dawn, and as well as this Luffy, who gives himself 2 rested Dawn. So if you can play these on turn 2, you can still play on curve. So you can play the Sanji, you can play the Luffy, and then play the Ivankov, and get some really good plays in, getting a Karasu out off of 4 Dawn, getting 2/4 cost out, and having black, because I really focused on black in that meta, and being able to out summon them or outpace them before they can get to that 8 Dawn turn where they can drop the Moria, or put them in a bad situation where if they do drop the Moria, it still wouldn't help them. I wanted to spam them where they can hopefully only take out one of my characters. And that's where, that Ivankov comes in, and this one comes clutch. But being able to play these on curve with the Sanji and the Luffy is the goal. And having that Nami to search out the missing piece, or the Betty to search out your Ivankovs and set yourself up for the future turn after you play those cards, are like the goal. And for this Luffy, again, he just needs 2 Dawn. You move 2 Dawn, so you can do some surprise plays with 10 Dawn. You can use 5 of your Dawn, where other decks would have to use 7 Dawn for that last swing. You like summon him and put 2 Dawn on him. You could attach 5 Dawns, play him, and then move 2 Dawns over, and then you have an unblockable swing. As well as Kid Killer coming down for 4. That last swing that they're not thinking about. They're like, oh, if he has a Kid Killer, we can block 7, but you move 2 Dawn over, can you block 9? So those are your really clutch cards. Kid Killer's not searchable. Chaka's another not searchable card, but with him being able, you put 1 Dawn on. So if you're off and you only have 1 Dawn available, you can give it to him, and he can move Dawn around, and he'll move the Dawn around, and your leader will move Dawn around. So there's so much value in this card. It's just, it is really slow into the black matchup. I think I took him out after like play testing in the actual physical cards. I just didn't take him out in this deck, and I just ran this deck without even looking at it. He's actually good into the Blackbeard matchup. Just another card that has active main, and there's a lot of cards in here that have that active main or when attacking. So we have a bunch of active mains where even if he does leader effect, you can punish him. And I think I played this one guy twice, and I did nothing but active mains, and then the next time on the rematch he didn't pitch, and then I did my on plays to play it. So you can really punish them out. And then being so aggressive, whenever I did get to Dragon, it was crazy. But that's for you guys to see. Go ahead and look at those. If you have any suggestions about the deck, go ahead and drop them down. I definitely want to play with this, but so far, and you know, I watch YouTube a lot, so I look at the other deck lists and I get some things from people, some things. I haven't really seen a dragon deck that I liked, other than the one that I have now, besides the ones that have the future cards in there that also go well with this leader. You know, start day 21. But without further ado, here's the gameplay. So for the first video that I have for you is that Delphi, and Delphi has a lot of winning matchups, but we're gonna be fighting aggression versus aggression. I got to go first, so I'm gonna definitely be able to get some swings into him. Unfortunately, I didn't get on the mulligan any smaller cards to play, so I think, and he's setting up his life here, but and then again with the draw, no cards to play, so there's only one thing to do, and that's step on that gas. He takes, definitely expected that. He throws 8 back at me, but that's the thing about Delphi. He can do the same play as you, but he can summon 2 4-drop bodies. So it kind of puts me behind, and there's that Sanji I want to see earlier. Of course, you know, it drops now. But I do get best case scenario for the cards that I had. I was gonna swing at life, but I was like, let's get a card out of his hand. He had a lot of cards in hand. I have a lot of cards in hand. Hopefully he doesn't have a pudding, because I definitely want to play these cards. Next turn, just thinking about it, I go up 7 Dawn, which means I can play another 5-drop Karasu, use 2 Dawn, drop a not Karasu, sorry, 5-drop Ivankov, put 2 drop Dawn on Ivankov, and I'm really good with how many bodies that I have if that drops. Now he's swinging very heavily at me. He just has so many bodies on the field. I did not want to take too many of those. The one thing about Teach is he takes from hand, so just like I threw a lot of cards away, he doesn't have too many cards, and I get another Karasu and another Karasu. So just giving myself some time to think here. I have to go after the board, so instead of throwing this at leader like I would want to, I think this is going to go at a 6k body. I have that 2 Dawn left over, so we're going to drop another Karasu to throw at another 6k body. I was thinking to myself if I should have put 2 Dawn on Dragon, but I was like, nah, I have a better play here. This at least gives me 1 card out of his hand. if he does have counter, and then I can always move those two on over to that 6K body. So it's swing 7 here. We know he doesn't defend. Hopefully, I mean, he's not gonna block. He doesn't really want that djembe too badly. But hopefully he doesn't swing with the 6K blocker. I do have a lot of bodies on board, but blue does have some good removal towards my 4-5 bodies. So it looks like I'm in a good position here. He's given his time. I don't know if he's thinking about throwing all his Dawn away. I mean, all his cards away to save him, and he was, which was kind of scary because I do have some counter in hand. I don't think he knows that, but yeah, he has quite a few swings, and he's up on the life, and I'm not too far on the hand. I may have one more card in hand, but he has one more card in life. So he swings 5-5. I defend it because I know he's gonna swing into it again. That protects my life. And yeah, he has to give me more cards. I'm not gonna give him my last 2 cards for that. He swings 5 at life. I go ahead and take, expecting him to do something big with that 6, and now that I think about it, it's Jozu. Not too great. It's not the horrible, because I still have it, so I have a card for counter. Just kind of puts myself in hand advantage, but he has board advantage here. I decided to go ahead and minus the leader. I was like, let me go ahead and get a card out of hand from him, see if he'll give it to me, or maybe a blocker plus a card. And I probably should have did this before minusing, but I'm a little rusty with the deck. So he gives me that, so I'm like, all right, let me see if I can get another card out of hand. And possibly dropping the Karasu and minusing the djembe instead of the leader. I might have been able to get more swings out doing that, because once I minus the leader and swing this 6 at him, he wasn't gonna block. And then this was another mistake. I was just all over the place. I did want to put 2 Karasus out. If anything, I put the Dawn on the leader, swing 6. But I didn't want to give him more cards in hand. I was afraid of giving him like an answer like Gravity Blade or something like that. So I decided not to swing anymore, and he had the Gravity Blade, which again puts me in a tough situation. He swings the 7 here, which means he has another 7 swing. And I let him go because I'm like, I'd rather use a 2K on my 6K bodies than try to protect him, and he's still gonna die. I get the Nami, so I want to search out something here, but they only give me one option. I got 2 6K bodies. For sure, I want to get rid of that Jozu. He doesn't have too many cards to defend him. So I'm thinking he's going to block this, because I don't think he wants to give me both the cards in his hand. And he actually just gives me the Jozu, leaving a blocker up, which isn't bad. And I'll leave 4 up. I want to establish another body. He does have 3 potential swings, but doing the math, I was doing the math, and I was like, there's no way he goes for game, and even if he does, there's a potential that I can counter out of the teach swing. So I just wanted to put him on 1, possibly 0, and for sure put him on 1, and then establish my Inazuma, something that he doesn't want to take a swing from because it has banish, and he only has 4 cards in hand. Establishing 3 5k plus bodies with 4 potential swings, 5 if I really wanted to just add Don, put him into a bad position, and making him decide if he wants to swing at bodies or not. I can block a 7k swing, well, up to 8 if they go at my Ivankov. If they go at to life, if I can kind of bait him into swinging, or if he thinks he needs to go for game this turn, which based off of this, if he can't remove anything off board, then I definitely have lethal. And he's definitely thinking this is definitely a harder situation to be in, and I do have it on ×2, so he's definitely taking his time here. This is a harder thing. I think if I'm him, I just throw I throw more Don than this, but he swings at life, so with me just doing like a free count, like bam, you can't game me, which here, if he wanted to, he only has 1 swing if he's gonna leave blocker up, or he could swing twice into my 2 Ivankovs, try to give himself some room to live. He puts a lot of Dawn on there. I have no cards in hand, so that didn't make any sense. But I do draw the answer, or a good card for the situation. So I was thinking to myself, let me do this and then see if he lets it go through. But then I was like, he has a blocker, so if I do that, he just counters out. So I really get to use this Inazuma to take a lot of cards out of his hand, or the blocker. And he takes, which I think I would have just blocked there. If he blocks, this is a better situation for him. But now that he's at 0, we just try to get all the counter out of his hand. And then, yeah, he had nothing but 1Ks. But we just use that, establish a 10K overkill. But definitely necessary. Now we're going to our next matchup. And he chooses to go second, which is his curve. So we get to play. We get, definitely want to grab this rush. Kind of want to put him in a bad position at that 8 Dawn turn, or that'd be my 9 Dawn turn. Hopefully by then I got him down really low. So he black holes right off bat. So I wouldn't be able to play another searcher. I guess that's the only thing at 3 I would play that has an on play effect. But we get to do this play and establish a body. So 2 5K swings and establish that Luffy. And he really went down low, pitching a card and then pitching to keep his life at 5. Dropping that, I let her die because I have 2 swings and he has 1 card in hand. So I know I'm going to get some life off of here. On top of that, I do have a rush card. Normally you want to hold on to that for late game, but in the Blackbeard matchup, I think it's okay to just apply as much as pressure as possible. And me just trying to like do the math, what's the most optimal way to do this and kind of like sneak. This is always tricky because the plan can go awry if he has any triggers, but luckily he didn't. So I'm able to swing another 5 at him, which he takes, and then move 2 more down over and swing the 7. It's almost like he had effect. And he's at 6 Don, he's at 2 life. It's not looking great for him at all. Bam, he uses effect to KO. I think if I'm him, you have to do the effect, right? And swing into the Luffy would be the play, which he does. Now, at this point, you can say I'm being greedy, but I think I'm so much in a good position that I can actually just counter out here. And now we have 3 swings for him. He has 3 life and he does the on play effect. I think I miscount here, so I'm like, oh, I'm at 7 Don. Not 8 Don. So, I mean, it's still not bad because I still have 2 huge swings to go at him. And then for my 9 Don turn, I have a card if he can survive that. I mean, if he can survive. Well, no, yeah. He can't survive if I can swing huge here and he didn't pop this card. So we're able, bam, 7. Give me 2 cards. Passed. And he's left with 1 card. So now he has 1 life left. I have a rush card. And I have leader ability. I mean, not leader ability, but leader. So I have 2 swings at him. He drops another 4-drop Laboon. I'm not afraid. And there's another dragon. So, and he didn't do his effect here because he only had 1 card in hand. He needed for counter, which it didn't even have counter. So, bam, before he can even play teach. Alright, and for the last one, we have the Smoker matchup. Another black deck can be a pain. The Smoker deck is really good. Not too sure. This one sucked because it was like if I played Nami first and then the Betty, I would have had a better, better cards to have in hand. But it is what it is. We did grab the 2 Don Luffy, which is going to be a beautiful card to have. Now, he can punish me with having these 1K bodies on the field, and he definitely does. So now those are 7 swings at me, which I take. Didn't want to counter out of, but here we go with our 5 swing, which he counters out, which I'm like, good, because now you'll get this another 5 swing. I'm thinking he's gonna take, but he doesn't take, so this is like you taking one this turn for sure. I was definitely able to get 2 cards out of hand and then add 1 out of life this turn, so this is really good start for me. But if he has like a Rob Lucci, which I don't think they run, that wouldn't be devastating, but that would definitely hurt to see those go. Those are kind of like my pseudo blockers, gonna keep my life alive. So let's see, it's his turn. He's thinking. he goes ahead and takes advantage of that and swings heavily into me. Don't want to take again. And I'm thinking with 3 Don, it's a Brook, but he passes, so I have no clue what that was about. So I play the Karasu, and that makes it even worse that he didn't get rid of these Namis, because now they're swinging at life again. So it's more of the same turn, but over again. And he has to give a 0 cost. And we just move those over again. 4. And then a 5 swing. Oh, there's an event. I had to read what that event was. Really kooky deck list, but it is what you get when you play random people online, even random people at locals. So it's not looking too good for him. We are at what, 7 Don for him. He does get rid of my Karasu, which sucks a lot. Takes advantage of that again and swings at life. This time we're going to decide to take it. We're going to 8 Don, and we can really take advantage, or we definitely can swing into him. Then I thought to myself, we just drop another Karasu and we can just keep this going until he decides he wants to take out my Namis. So this time we go 4 again. See if we get a 1K out of him. We move the 2 Don over. At 1-6. I mean, not 6. It's 5, but he needs a 2K, like it's a 6. Which he didn't throw a 2K out. And again, I think he just thought I was swinging 4-4, so I think he planned for that. This definitely, if you want to learn anything from the Mexico regionals, it's to take your time if you can. You know, sometimes there's time restrictions. Right now he had plenty of time. Just realize what you're getting swung at by, or make sure that you're paying for your Don correctly. I mean, in Sim you can't really mess that up, but you can accidentally give something an extra Don by playing a little bit too fast, clicking a little too fast, and kind of just have like a self monologue with yourself while you're playing. You know, that way you stick to your game plan, because a lot of times a lot of people, they start with a game plan and in the middle of the turn they'll play a card and they'll go a completely opposite direction. I got this out. This is looking like game minus. He does have the blocker, but we got 2 swings. He has 3 cards. It's not looking too well. That 1 cost event. And I can see that 1 cost event being good into, I guess, that black matchup. It's not too bad, because I think it said your characters can't be KO'd by battle, but yep, and that's a wrap for this one. This one was definitely my opponent not knowing my cards do, or just either being new or something like that. But like I said, sometimes you just get those in. So for what is it, OP09? I say OP09, it's OP10. There's just a few changes that I made. I took the Chaka out. We put the Monet in because she gives 2 cards to leader. She's an active main, and she also will give minus 1,000 to your opponent. that turn. It does go rested. It's a little harder to defend than maybe like the Luffy if you don't attack with the Luffy, and she's not something you're gonna attack with, but she can definitely on curve. If you can put her down on 2, she can definitely get your Ivankov going, and then if they want to block into that, or if they want to use, or yeah, and then she's a soft blocker, and she gets you to stay on curve. So she's definitely good. We took out the Namis, and then we took out the random Straw Hat 2Ks that we had, and we threw in the Tony Chopper blocker. I don't have any other blockers in here because this is straight gas, but since it's a 2K blocker that's also 6K on the opponent's turn, this is something you can either decide, hey, do I want a blocker or do I want this 2K in hand? So it's definitely, if you get into that point, a good card to have. One of the staples. Unfortunately, there's no other cards from 10. Now the starter deck 21, there's that Zoro that will definitely find a place in here. He's a 4 cost. He has rush when you give him 2 Dawn, and then on KO he plays a red character, 5,000 power or less. So that's everything besides your Dragon and Ivankov. I've seen some crazy stuff with this secret Vivi, and I just imagine him cheating that character out, and then you playing a Karasu the next turn. There'd be some crazy pressure there, but I don't think I'll get that crazy. But there's a lot of potential for this deck in the future, so if you like it, go ahead. I'll be making a video on there, so you can like, subscribe, or whatever. But I really appreciate you for just viewing. Out.